Hi guys, it's Come Flying to the Sky. I would like to share with you guys today something that God has been talking to me about for a couple weeks now through different passages in His Word, and it has to do with the heart of the king. And I'm going to be starting in Ezekiel chapter 16, verse 49. And this is talking about the sin of Sodom. And normally when we think about Sodom and Gomorrah, we think about the sexual sin and God destroying the city. And in this passage here, it gives us a little bit more of a broader perspective of some of the other things that were taking place in that city as well. So Ezekiel 16, verse 49. Look, this was the iniquity of your sister Sodom. She and her daughter had pride, fullness of food, an abundance of idleness, neither did she strengthen the hand of the poor and the needy. And they were haughty and committed abomination before me, therefore I took them away as I saw fit. And reading that, it is very much a passage speaking of today. Our whole society is just full of arrogance and pride. We're even full of food and abundance of idleness. Idle time. How much idle time is in our society today? Neither did she strengthen the hand of the poor and the needy. And how easy is it today to write a check and send it off somewhere and not really truly having a heart of sacrifice for the poor and the needy? It's usually something, we'll throw out some money and we won't even miss it. Just, it's money that was just meaningless to us anyway. And we just try to soothe our own conscience by helping other people out. So starting here in Isaiah 58, the context is fasting that pleases God. So here we're going to see a parallel between this passage and the passage that we had just read. Starting verse 1, Cry loud, spare not, lift up your voice like a trumpet. Tell my people their transgression and the house of Jacob their sins. Yet they seek me daily, and delight to know my ways, as a nation that did righteousness and did not forsake the ordinance of their God. They ask of me the ordinances of justice. They take delight in approaching God. Why have we fasted, they say, and you have not seen? Why have we afflicted our souls, and you take no notice? And God sees our fasting, but He also knows the depths of our heart. And God responds here and says, in fact, in the day of your fast, you find pleasure and exploit all your labors. Indeed, you fast for strife and debate. And he goes on. And starting verse 6 is where he starts talking about the fasting that he is looking for, that does please him. Verse 6, Is this not the fast that I have chosen? To loose the bonds of wickedness, to undo the heavy burdens, to let the oppressed go free, and that you break every yoke? Is it not to share your bread with the hungry, and that you bring to your house the poor who are cast out? When you see the naked, that you cover him, and not hide yourself from your own flesh. So once we see this fasting that the Lord is looking for, he goes on into verse 8 and says, Then your light shall break forth like the morning, your healing shall spring forth speedily, and your righteousness shall go before you. The glory of the Lord shall be your rear guard. Then you shall call, and the Lord will answer. You shall cry, and he will say, Here I am. And when we're fasting, is that not what we're desiring the Lord to say? Here I am. And minister to us and guide us and speak to us specifically in those times that we're seeking him diligently and fasting. And so here again we see the Lord's heart for the oppressed, the poor, the naked, the lonely, that type of that group of people there that is really burdened, and it's truly on the Lord's heart. And when we're reviewing this passage, we see God doesn't just want us to have this relationship just with him where it's so fixed that we are focusing on righteousness, holiness, commandments, and just this narrow focus. He also wants us to truly receive his heart and minister and love as he loved those around us, and that is his heart. Let's move over to 1 Corinthians 13, the love chapter. 1 Corinthians 13:13, and now abide faith, hope, love, these three, but the greatest of these is love. And in that passage, it talks about having the gift of prophecy and you being able to work in these supernatural gifts and having this the faith to move mountains. And down here it talks about being able to surrender your body to the flame. Maybe you'll have enough devotion to your Lord that you will be martyred for him. But without love, all these things are nothing. And that speaks a lot about love and how much are we missing. Like, we might think we have love, but we need to really be seeking God that we truly have his heart. Coming here to Matthew 25, starting verse 31. This is talking about when Jesus comes back and the nations will be judged, and he divides the sheep from the goats. And then the king will say to those on his right hand, those are the sheep, "Come, you blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. For I was hungry, and you gave me food. I was thirsty, and you gave me drink. I was a stranger, and you took me in. I was naked, and you clothed me. I was sick, and you visited me. I was in prison, and you came to me." And here through these passages that I have read, we really, as I've said, see the heart of the king. And I just pray that that is an encouragement to you. Sometimes, especially, say, us watchmen who are looking for the return of Christ, sometimes we get so narrowly focused on that we take our eyes off of what he's called us to do here while we're here, and that's to love others and take care of others, as that's truly his heart, to not sit and be idle, but to continue working for the kingdom and to love those, and especially the ones who are oppressed. So thank you for listening. Take care and God bless.